ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय।
ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय।
ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय।
ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय।
ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय।
ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय।
ओम नमो नारायणाय। ओम नमो नारायणाय। ओम नमो नारायणाय। ओम नमो नारायणाय।
ओम नमो नारायणाय। ओम नमो नारायणाय। ओम नमो नारायणाय। ओम नमो नारायणाय।
ओम नमो नारायणाय। ओम नमो नारायणाय। ओम नमो नारायणाय। ओम नमो नारायणाय।
ओम नमो नारायणाय। ओम नमो नारायणाय। ओम नमो नारायणाय। ओम नमो नारायणाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते शिवानंदाय।
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 ओम नारायणं पद्मभवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्र पराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमदास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमदास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तं तोटकं वार्तिककारं शिवानन्दचिदानन्दान्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवत् व्याप्तदेहाय श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव। अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति, त्वमेव शरणं मम। तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष महाप्रभु। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Dear friends in the spiritual path, we are all called sadhakas. In spite of so many other occupations, you have come from a long distance, almost all over India, to spend some days here on the holy banks of Ganga and abode of worshipful Sri Swami Shivanji Maharaj. We are called sadhakas. Our most adorable Gurudev Swami Shivanji Maharaj used to tell, sadhana is a lifelong process. It is not only a week or month or some time. And it is very, very important as a sadhakas. We must follow the teachings of our own Guru. We repeat mantras, Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine. We chant many mantras. But when we come to the practice, we are far, far away from the path of truth or reality. Our worshipful Sri Swami Krishnaji Maharaj used to give series of lectures during the Sadhana Saptaha and also in his kutir. He used to tell a very beautiful illustration. Two farmers used to fight for water. They are fighting, water should go from the canal to their field first. And both farmers were fighting. They both went to a judge. But when they went to the judge, they said, we both came only to seek your justice, but everybody asserting, the both persons, I came here for judgment, but water should go first to my field only. That is the attitude with which we also approach spiritual path. We go to the gurus, but I want to do what I want to do, not as per the advice of Guru. That is our so-called individuality, affirmation of individuality or ego. That was the thing we do it. Everything should be done according to my own personal convenience, not as per the guidance of Gurudev. And Guru is such, is not merely a physical entity. That power which removes darkness of ignorance is called Guru. And that Guru is eternal. And Guru, one's own self and Supreme God or Ishtadevata, they are not three separate entities. They are inseparable, one and the same. Guru never dies. Hence, if our worshipful Swami Chidanand Maharaj again and again used to emphasize, if you want to see me, and close your eyes and see, don't run after here and there all these things. And our worshipful Gurudev Swami Shivanji Maharaj, most important part of sadhana is called stickability. One should stick to one path, one form of God, and anything, if you like Bhagavad Gita or Ramayana or anything, any Upanishads, you can regularly study it. It is called a Swadhyaya, self-study. Self-study is very, very important. If you begin to study Bhagavad Gita, automatically you are one with the divine presence of sage Vyasa and also Lord Krishna. In the Bhagavad Gita, I got a very good spiritual instructions, provided if you want to practice it. Spiritual practice is not difficult, it is very simple. But taking resolve and implicitly continuing it throughout one life is very, very important. In the 9th chapter, 27th verse is beautifully said, Yat karoshi yadasnasi, yat jihoshit yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat karushva darpanam. Whatever you do, whatever you drink, whatever you eat, offer it to me. It means you must feel the divine presence in all our actions. That is very, very important. Because God or Guru, they are all pervading. Always you must feel they are looking at you in every thought, every action, and every feeling that comes to your existence. There is a very interesting story of one of the Nayanars. He is the devotee of Lord Shiva. Our worship also, Gurudev wrote 63 Nayanar saints. He is one of the great devotee of Lord Shiva. He was only a washerman. He was thinking, oh, I am not rich. If the emperor wants to do anything, he can do great Rajasuya yajnas. If any rich man wanted to do, he can do many yajnas and homas and havans. And he was a very poor man. You know, washerman in the village in olden days, they won't cook food also. They will go and collect in the village. If 30 houses are there, he will go every day 10 houses, he will go. Alternately, he will collect food and then he will take the cloths, collect the cloths, take it to the river, wash it, dry it, and evening he will return it, and then he will collect food for the night also. That was his daily way of living. Being a washerman, he took a vow. There is a very big Shiva's temple. Many tourists come, many Shiva Bhaktas, mendicants used to go there. He took a vow, daily I will wash a cloth of mendicant. After that only I will wash villagers' clothes. After washing, then only I will take food. That was his resolve. Because in spiritual life, taking resolve is very, very important. You know, in our ashram also, Worshipful Gurudev gave a spiritual diary. In that, resolves one must take to fill the spiritual diary form. What resolve you have taken, how many times you have failed, what are the obstacles came to your mind. Our Gurudev gave a beautiful analysis of one's own mind and daily habits. And before going to sleep, one must go to the spiritual diary and fill it. And what are the mistakes one committed, our Worshipful Gurudev knows what is mind. And you know, I got an opportunity to move and assist most revered Sri Swami Chidanand Maharaj and Krishnanand Maharaj. And if anybody comes, our Chidanand Maharaj see a person and close the eyes, both the eyes, and immediately will scan what is in his mind. Krishnanand Maharaj's habit is, the moment anybody goes to him, immediately will see the breathing and he will judge a person what for he came. They know the human psychology very well. But our Worshipful Gurudev Swami Shivanji Maharaj, he will close one eye and scan a person and he knows what is the psychology of that personality. They analyze spiritual aspects very, very well. They know the human psychology. Similarly, this washerman took a vow. Whoever mendicants, Shiva Bhaktas come, Swami is devoted to Lord Shiva. First he will wash his clothes, then only he will wash villagers' clothes, then he will return to them. Once it happened, for 2 days no mendicant came that side. He could not eat food, he collected clothes, he could not return in the evening. Entire villagers began to complain against him. Even there are some washermen, they called all their washermen in the village. That village in charge threatened that this washerman, if you won't give clothes daily, you will be banished from the village also. We will not allow you to stay in the village. This washerman resolve is, first he will wash Shiva's mendicants, devotees' clothes, then he will wash villagers' clothes, then he will return. Unfortunately, 2 days no mendicant came. He could not go back to the house. He could not eat food. He was staying on the river bank only. 3rd day, entire villages began to complain. And then it is nearly evening, 4 or 5 o'clock. One mendicant came. He looked like a mendicant, but he is not an ordinary person. And then he came, and then he was having only piece of cloth on the body, one small lion cloth on the hip. This washerman, seeing this mendicant, ran to him "Oh, you are really Lord Shiva. You have come to rescue me today, third day. If you won't give clothes, my life is in danger. I will have to go away from this village. I do not know what to do." That mendicant asked, "Who are you? You are like a robber here standing in the river bank. I got only one piece of cloth. You want to rob this also? I won't give you. You are a new person. How can I believe you?" This washerman prayed to him, "Oh mendicant, you look like a Lord Shiva. You came to my rescue. Please give me that cloth, I will wash and give." He said, "No, I won't give any clothes to anybody to wash. I've got a habit to wash my own clothes." He pleaded, "Please give me that cloth, I will wash and give." This mendicant asked him, "You are a new person, how can I believe you?" He says, "Look at it, nearby Shivalinga is there. I worship that Shivalinga, I wash the clothes, and nearby Shiva temple also is there. I am great devotee of Lord Shiva. Please help me, give me that upper cloth, lion cloth, I will wash and give." This mendicant is not ordinary person. This washerman pleaded him. He said, "If you won't give that cloth, what is the punishment?" This washerman said, "I will give my life." What sort of person is that? If you won't give the cloth, if you want to give your life will cover me. What sort of logic you are doing? I won't give my cloth. Then he pleaded, "Please give me, I will wash." This mendicant is not ordinary person. Finally, he said, "With one condition, as I give you, I won't use anybody's other cloth. You must give my own cloth. I won't accept anything." He said, No, you please give. Within few minutes, I will wash it. I will dry it. When you return from the temple, the cloth will be ready. If you won't give, what is the punishment for you?" This washerman said, "Whatever you want, I will ready to do. I will sacrifice. I don't want your life. Only one condition, you give me my own cloth." The washerman agreed. And this washerman has got a habit. The moment he collects the mendicant cloth, he will keep it near the river, or do prayers, even worship that cloth also. Then only wash it and dry it, then he will hand over it. This mendicant said, "Yes, I will go into the temple. It will take 1 hour. When I come back, the cloth should be ready." He said, "Definitely, I am waiting for this. I will definitely wash this cloth and give it to you." This mendicant gave that upper cloth, went to the temple. From the distance, he moved his hand. Severe wind came. This cloth, when he was worshipping, it went in the wind. This washerman wanted to catch that cloth. And first it went to the Shivalinga. Then the washerman ran to catch the cloth. Again, wind was so forceful that cloth still more went away, flew away. It ran on a very big thorn bush. And the washerman caught the cloth. When he removed it, all the clothes were torn. He could not do anything. Then what he did, then tried to wash it. Again, so many holes were there in that cloth. Then what will do? Not only that, severe rain came. Wind and rain came. Then he could not dry that torn cloth also. In the meantime, that mendicant returned. "Where is my cloth?" This washerman said, "I do not know what happened. I promised you. I could not give your own cloth, but give me, I am waiting for you to come. I will go to my home, bring some other new cloth and give it to you. I told you, you are not ordinary person, washerman. You are a robber and thief. You are cheating everybody. Hence all villagers are against you." No. I am very sincere. I am honest. And I want to, you please wait. I will go and bring. I told you, I will not accept anybody's cloth. I want my own cloth. He said, "I cannot give. What can I do?" He said, "You said you will give your life. How can you give your life? Look at me." Then the washerman went to that Shivalinga, he began to hit his head on the Shivalinga. There, the same mendicant was standing instead of Shivalinga. He said, "What is this? Whom I came here only to test you. The resolve you took is very, very good. And I appreciate your resolve. So many problems you are facing in daily life, but you never failed in your resolve. You are really a devotee of Shiva, hence you are fit to get moksha." Then immediately that washerman who took resolve only to wash the clothes and serve the mendicants at any cost, even foregoing his own daily food for 3 days, and he never failed in his resolve. And that washerman, he is known as Siruthundu Nayanar. He is one of the great Nayanar saint. Hence, to become a devotee of Lord, it is not the richness or knowledge of the scriptures or anything is necessary, but sincere resolve is very, very important. As a sadhakas, it is foremost duty, and we must surrender to your own guru and keep up our resolve. As a member of the Divine Life Society, you take a resolve, ahimsa, satya and brahmacharya. What is that ahimsa and brahmacharya? Brahmacharya means not merely sex indulgence. Living in Brahman is called brahmacharya, at any cost, at all times. He who lives feeling the presence of the divine, he is called a brahmachari. And that is very, very important. Ahimsa means verbally, physically, mentally, one should not do any harm. Then only our worshipful Gurudev keep this as a resolve for every member of the Divine Life Society. And finally, it is said, then only you can be good and do good. Be good and do good is the greatest virtue that one should, at all times, at all places, should observe. As a spiritual aspirant, it is not that you by heart the scriptures or chanting the prayers and all these things. Most important thing is, whatever resolve you took, at any cost, keep it up. But take such a resolve, that which is simple, easy, simple, and you will never fail in your daily life, because God is all-pervading and Guru is all-pervading. Our essential nature also all-pervading. Hence in the Bhagavad Gita, after showing the cosmic form, Lord Krishna beautifully said, 11th chapter, 55th verse, Mat karma krun mat paramo, mat bhakta sangavarjitaha, nirvera sarvabhuteshu, yasamam iti pandava. It means you should be a devoted, totally dedicated, and there is no question of negativity or enmity and harsh expression towards any being. And generally it is called viraga, not attachment, opposite to attachments, because truly speaking, we have no attachment to our own body. Suppose if doctor diagnoses, you go to the snow peaks or mountains, there's a frost bite, snow bite is there in your leg. You said in the beginning, some toes are affected. Doctor says that should be removed. Can you tell yes or no? Or cancer is diagnosed. Doctor said one lung is affected, you will have to remove that lung. Can you tell no? Any part of the body that which cause pain, you are ready to sacrifice. Truly speaking, we are not attached to anything in life. Then only you will get sleep also. When you go to deep sleep, are you attached to your own body or possessions of anything? At the time when you go to deep sleep, it is called a sushupti. You are not attached to anything, you are not thinking about anything, then only deep sleep comes. For example, you misplaced your room key or car key. Can you get sleep? You are always thinking about that only. Hence, thinking is the root cause of suffering. Hence, Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita second chapter, that is the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita teachings. Nanu sochanti panditaha, wise men never think, because there is nothing to think in life. When God is all-pervading, your essential nature is all-pervading. We call ourselves as sadhakas. What is there to think? Our duty is only to repeat God's name. Our Gurudev has given everything in a very simple way. There is no need to by heart in the scriptures. Our Gurudev said, start the day with God. The moment you get up in the morning, repeat God's name. Before keeping your leg on the ground, respect the earth, then only keep your feet on the ground. Then, who you come in contact, there is no need to prostrate to them, but have a friendly, loving attitude towards them. Our Krishnaji Maharaj is so important. If you go and touch and do namaskar, he said, no, don't do it daily. And he will go, if somebody wants to do namaskar, he will go on another way. He was so strict. There's no need to do prostration, all these things. It is internal attitude is very important. You do prostrate, you do many things, but in the behind, you want to do assert your own nature. Is it the service to Guru? When I came to the ashram, Worshipful Swami Chidananda was very kind and generous, because I was only studying the books and practicing and doing some asanas and pranayamas. When I get some problem, Swami Chidananda Maharaj gave every Sunday 1 hour. I must go to him and put question. Whatever answer he gives, I will note it down. Next Sunday I must go and tell what we had discussed in previous Sunday. Like that for some 1 or 2 years it continued. Then Swamiji in 68, he went away to South Africa. And Swamiji is very more practical, simple, direct guidance he used to give for spiritual aspirants. And as a sadhakas, one of the important things Swamiji gave is, what you will have to do as a sadhakas. He said, this I may repeat it many times, this is very, very important. There are 5 G's. Always feel devoted to Govinda, because Govinda means Lord Krishna, Gopala, because he is all-pervading. And Krishna means he who attracts all beings, akarshiti iti Krishna. Hence, he who attracts all beings, that power through which all the planetary system moves, everything is moving in their own orbits, exists. That power we call it a Krishna. Hence, because of that, our own heart functions, our own lungs functions. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna beautifully said, in the 15th chapter, 7th verse, Mamaivamso jivaloke jivabhuta sanatanaha manashashtani indriyani prakrutistani karshati. I exist in all beings as 5 senses and mind. Don't think you will control the mind, you control the senses. On the other hand, our Gurudev used to change the angle of vision. 5 senses and mind is nothing but manifestation of the divine, that is the presence of Lord Krishna also. Hence, first feel that presence, that is called Govinda, first G. Second G is called Gayatri. If you repeat Gayatri mantra or any mantra, meaning of all mantras are same. There is no difference. Gayatri mantra meaning is, I salute or surrender to that power which illumines my intellect, because mantras, meaning of all mantras are the same. That power only illumines our intellect also. Hence, second is Gayatri or any mantra, second G. Third is Bhagavad Gita. Daily read Bhagavad Gita. If you make it a point, try to read by heart 700 verses and always think in the terms of Gita. Otherwise, our Gurudev used to tell, daily read 1 verse of the Bhagavad Gita. Read the meaning and commentary. Think throughout the day only thus thought. Otherwise, any thought comes, direct your mind to the meaning of the Bhagavad Gita. First, Govinda. Second is Gayatri. Third is Bhagavad Gita. Fourth is Mother Ganga. Look at it. Mother Ganga is not only here. is called Jnana Ganga. Our worshipful Gurudev created Divinely Society. He declared serving in the Divinely Society is nothing but taking a dip in the Bhagavad Jnana Ganga, because it is called, this river Ganga is not ordinary Ganga. No one knows where it begins, where it ends, there is no middle also. Similarly, consciousness in this body is called Jnana Ganga. Feel it. Automatically you feel it is nothing but better than taking dip in the Ganges. If you take in the Ganges, immediately after a few days you get arthritis, joint pains. Whereas dip in the take Bhagavad Jnana Ganga, no problems will come. First is Govinda, second is Gayatri, third is Gita, fourth is
Mother Ganga.
Govinda, Gayatri, Bhagavad Gita, Ganga. Fifth is called Guru Seva. Guru Seva means feeling the presence of the divine. That is real Guru Seva. Guru is not physical body. He is always in our own heart. And when you repeat mantra, whatever action you do, feel you are doing in the presence of Guru. That is called Guru Seva. Hence, the 5 G's are very, very important for the sadhakas. Then, there is a 6th G. Our Siddhani Maharaj emphasizes, if you want to stay in the ashram or any place, first enemy or real enemies, the 6th G, it is called gossip. Unnecessarily we talk from dawn to dusk, morning to evening, so many things, no way connected with our life. It is, one day I was walking in the road, in the main road, in those days there is only water tank. 2 mendicants were there, they used to go to Badrinath. Their topic is, they are very serious discussion. What is the salary of the Prime Minister? What is the salary of the President? One person says 16,000, another says 20,000. They are very serious argument. 2 mendicants, 2 beggars, by discussing about the salary of the President or Prime Minister, they are not going to gain anything. Similarly, all our topics in our daily life is meaningless, worthless, and nothing but waste of time. Hence, as a sadhakas, most important thing is that which is relevant to our life. Think over it. Read Bhagavad Gita or any scripture that you like most. It is called Swadhyaya. What is Swadhyaya? Swadhyaya, Tapas, Ishvara Pranidhana is real Swadhyaya. Means feel the presence of the divine, that's called Ishvara Pranidhana, and read Bhagavad Gita and always keep your mind with positive thought. Positive thought is only repeating God's name, no other thought. Hence, again repeat God's name. There are 2 things which I asked some of our devotees yesterday. What is difference between mantra and japa? Mantra means mananat rayate iti mantraha. Mentally repeating again and again is called mantra. And what is jap? They said, no, repeat the mantra. It is not jap. Japa means tad japa, tad artha bhavana. If there is artha and meaning and bhava comes, then only it is called jap. For example, if you repeat Om Namah Shivaya, don't think that Shiva has got a jata, Shiva has got Trishul, and Shiva is not to be worshipped with any form. Of course, in the beginning, you can keep any form of God for the sake of concentration. If you really focus your mind on any form of God, mind will go still more deeper levels. Similarly, Shiva is not to be worshipped with any form, hence we worship Shiva with linga, Shiva linga. Hence a symbol of Shiva. What does it mean? One stone in a dome shape, another stone is a base. It means that Shiva linga is a cosmic form, universal form, and Lord Shiva manifested as unending light of consciousness. He is known as a Jyotirlingas. Hence there are so many Jyotirlingas in our country. Also some are in Nepal, other things. Jyotirlinga means light of consciousness. Shiva is called Adideva, Mahadeva, Devadeva. Even Rama worshipped Shiva, Krishna worshipped Shiva, Acharya Shankara worshipped Shiva, everybody worshipped Shiva. Shiva has got different levels of existence of our concentration. Essentially, he is light of consciousness, beyond all limitations. If you repeat Om Namah Shivaya, Nama Shivaya representing 5 elements. Our body also made up of 5 elements. In this universe, atom to planet is made up of 5 elements. Hence, 5 letters represent 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air and space. Om represents the 3 states of the mind: Jagrata, Swapna and Sushupti. Beyond these 5 elements, beyond the 3 states of the mind, it is nothing but light of consciousness. This is the meaning of all mantras. Either it is Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, or Om Namah Shivaya, or Ram Ram Ram. Any mantra if you repeat, essence of all mantras meanings is the same. There is no difference at all. Hence feel that meaning, then only it is called japa. That feeling is not only physical level or vital level or mental level or intellectual level. Total being should feel it. Then only, then there is no nama, difference between nama and nami. Hence that is purpose, then it is called beginning of meditation. When you repeat the mantra, it is not the numbers important, it is the feeling and being is very, very important. When you do japa, just like a sleep comes, meditation also will come. There is no need to do anything and everything will come because we are very, very fortunate. We come in contact with the most adorable, worshipful Gurudev and Swami Chidananda Maharaj. Swami Chidananda Maharaj always felt he is nothing but servant of Gurudev. When Swami himself felt he is servant of Gurudev, what will be our position? We are nothing but servant of Gurudev only. And feel that presence. And always you feel you are only serving them, you are helping them, then there is no place for expression or anger or negativity in any being. Hence, Swami Sivananda's embodiment of love, he was not merely Sivananda, he was known as Givananda. He gave plenty for us and he wrote so many books, so many stories, and read them, reflect over them, and that should be your aim in your daily life, Swadhyaya. There is no need to go chase after any gurus. Guru will come to you. There is no need to have, once you took shelter under the umbrella of Swami Sivananda and Chidananda Swamiji, there is no need to go to any other place. Do japa, do Swadhyaya, and daily sit and close your eyes, study your own mind, fill the spiritual diary. Naturally, everything that which you really need, it will happen, and that should be aim as a sadhakas and followers of most revered Sri Swami Sivananda Maharaj and Chidananda Maharaj. And there is no need to tell that I am the devotee of Swami Sivananda or Chidananda. By seeing you, our Krishnananda Maharaj used to tell, there is no need that you are practicing yoga. When you practice yoga, you should be a normal, simple person. Just like by seeing you, they will feel you are not an ordinary person. Just like a flower, it won't tell, I got a smell, you come and smell. Similarly, as a sadhakas, if you do japa, meditation, all these things, there is a quite different smell, aroma in your own personality. That peace should be there. However you go, carry the name of Gurudev, feel that you are servant of Gurudev and serving him alone all the 24 hours of the day. That should be aim in sadhana. It is not merely 1 week. You come here and you are going to hear beautiful discourses by many sages and saints. Note it down. When you go back, reflect over it and analyze it and try to implement as much as possible. That should be the aim attending the sadhana week. May the grace of the Almighty and worship of Gurudev bless you with success in your noble efforts is my heartfelt prayer. Thank you very much. Om Purnamada पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति।